Hello, everybody. I'm Mr. Davenport, and this is Exploring Environmental and Natural Resources. Today, our lesson is about renewable resources and non-renewable resources. What makes a renewable resource what it is, and what makes a non-renewable resource what it is. Well, first of all, the thing that I want to start off with is that both renewable resources and non-renewable resources are natural resources. They're things that are occurring on our planet, things that humans use in a way to help make their life easier. But some of these natural resources have a limited amount, and some of our natural resources can be replenished, whether through nature itself or by actions of the human population. So, to get us kind of thinking, let's take a look at this scenario. Let's play a little bit of a thinking game here. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds to take a look at the inside of these motors. In fact, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so that you can see, and I'm going to have the images zoom in a little bit, and we're going to take 30 seconds. We're going to take 30 seconds of time so that you guys can see the inside of the engine and decide what makes these vehicles the same, what makes them different, what one of these things is not like the other. And so, in the spirit of that, let's go back in time a little bit. All right, 30 seconds and go.
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong. Can you tell which thing is not like the other by the time I finish this song?
So, guys, basically, in that, I wanted you to kind of see the inside of the engine and see what of these things are the same and what makes them different. So let's go ahead and kind of go over our answers here. What makes these the same and makes them different? Here we go. Should be boom, boom, boom. So our first engine is a gasoline engine. That is the typical engine that is used by American car drivers. Gasoline and diesel fuel. Next to it is a hydrogen fuel cell, which basically uses a special type of engine that basically runs on water. It separates the oxygen and the hydrogen from the water, and it burns the hydrogen powering the car. Then we have the battery operated electric car, and then, sorry, trying to get my lights back on. Well, not working. And then we have the solar electric car. So, guys, the one that is not like the others is, well, our gasoline powered vehicle, because our hydrogen fuel cell and our solar electric and our electric car, they are not as common in the United States, and they can also be made viable with renewable resources. And gasoline is a non-renewable resource. So let's go into detail and talk about what is a renewable resource and a non-renewable resource. So you may want to write down that definition of a renewable resource. In fact, I'm going to move my camera down just a little bit so y'all can see. So, guys, a renewable resource is a resource that can be replenished when used through natural or human processes. We can get the resource back, okay? And so, renewable natural resources are things that humanity can use and bring back. There's no danger of running out. Now, we can damage the resource and we can make the resource unusable, but we could also, through human intervention, make it a workable new resource. We could bring it back from where we damaged it. And so the types of resources that are considered a renewable natural resource are soil, trees, water, crops, wind, solar energy, and geothermal energy. Those are things that we as humans, we can get back. These are resources that can be replenished, okay? So we'll always have soil. We can always make more trees. We can make water usable. Even if it's dirty, we can process it and purify it. We can always plant more crops if we have good soil conditions. The wind is always going to blow as long as we have an atmosphere. Solar energy is always going to be around for us because we are constantly hit with solar energy. And the power of the earth itself, geothermal energy, that is heat and gas being expelled from the earth's crust itself and us actually putting a turbine on it and collecting that energy and using it to produce electricity. Now, those are our renewable resources, but what are our non-renewable resources? What does that look like? Well, let me bring this back up. I'm going to move my camera. Wait, nope, sorry. My fault. Too many screens. So, I'm going to move my camera just a hair so that you guys can see a little bit better. So, what is a non-renewable resource? Well, a non-renewable resource is a resource that cannot be replaced after being used through natural or human processes. The emphasis is that resource once used is gone. We can't get it back. So there is a finite, that means a limited amount of this product, of this resource. Okay, so why is this important? Well, humans have to understand where they are getting their energy from so that they can make choices in order to, well, decide, are they going to use renewable resources or are they going to use non-renewable resources? So what are the types of non-renewable resources that we use a bunch of? Well, petroleum oil. That is where we get oil and gas from. So petroleum and gasoline come from petroleum oil. It is a non-renewable resource, and we burn it every day. Gold is a non-renewable resource. Well, why is gold important? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think you know this, but there's a bunch of gold in our electronics. And so the gold that is in those electronics that are powering our technology and our planet right now, there's a limited amount. And yes, there's other metals that are decent conductors, but not as good as gold. Gold is a great conductor. Coal. Coal is the number one source of electrical power in the United States. We burn coal so that we can have electricity, lights, refrigeration. And second to, we also burn natural gas for electricity, and we burn propane for heating our homes. So these are resources that are non-renewable. Once we use them, we can't get them back. Uranium is another non-renewable resource. Well, what are we using uranium for? That's incredibly radioactive, Mr. Davenport. We use uranium to produce electricity as well. So between producing electricity, creating our electronic devices, and powering our vehicles, a lot of what we use as non-renewable resources are these things that make things go, that make our world easier. And so the things that we have to consider: fossil fuels, propane, natural gas, diesel, petroleum, oil, all fall under the classification of a fossil fuel. All fossil fuels are non-renewable resources. Once we use up all fossil fuels, there are no more. Now, this isn't a statement to freak everybody out and say, oh, we're running out of gasoline, oh, we're running out of oil, oh, we're running out of diesel. We have thousands of years of oil and diesel that we have found in our developing of drilling pipelines and stuff like that. But the question is, if we have viable, renewable resources that could power our planet, we have the renewable resources to power our world, why would we constantly and continue to use resources that we know we're going to run out of? This is an important question as we look at our environment and natural resources. How are humans impacting the overall health of our planet? And guys, this is really important when it comes to agriculture, because if we do damage to our soil and our water and all the things that make our planet work, if we continue to use our natural resources in a way where we aren't concerned about what's renewable and what's non-renewable, eventually we'll wind up in a situation where something will run out. Now, it might be thousands of years in the future, but we, as individuals involved in agriculture, we have to be stewards of the resources that we've been given. Farmers and production agriculturalists are the stewards of the land. We use the land in order to grow our food, to raise animals, so that others will be able to eat. So, in order to have a healthy planet, we have to take into consideration what are the resources we are consuming and how can we reduce our overall impact on the planet. So, throughout the next week, you guys are going to be doing some assignments that are going to be helping you guys identify and explain the differences between renewable resources and non-renewable resources. And that's my time, 15 minutes. I will talk to you guys later. Be on the lookout for your assignments coming up in the next week.